Good morning. Today we'll be looking at how to do number 8 on practice number 4 of stoichiometry. So we can see this is talking about a thing called the Haber process, which we use to synthesize ammonia. Ammonia is used for fertilizers. How many grams of ammonia are made when this many grams of nitrogen react with an excess of hydrogen? And it gives us a hint. It says, write the balanced chemical reaction and think about what type of reaction this is. So, the first thing we need to do is figure out what our balanced chemical reaction is going to be. We don't need to worry about the numbers or anything else yet. All we need to know is nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to make ammonia. So, N2 plus H2 reacts to combine into NH3. I'm going to leave some space in front of these guys so that we can balance it, which we'll do right now. So I have two elements in this reaction, nitrogen and hydrogen. There are two nitrogens on the left side, and there's only one on the right side. There are two hydrogens on the left side, and there are three on the right side. So I need to figure out which one I want to start with to balance this. We'll start with the hydrogen. Actually, we'll make that the nitrogen, just because it's the first thing. So in order to do that, I'm going to multiply this by 2. Put that 2 right here. Now that 2 is also going to affect my hydrogens. So this gets multiplied by 2 to become 6. Okay, now my nitrogens are balanced, but the hydrogens need a little work. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 to get to 6, and that 3 is going to go up here. Now our equation is balanced, and we can start on with the rest of it. So I'm going to figure out what my given and my find are. So here's our given. That's how many grams of nitrogen we start with. And our find, well, we need to figure out, is it the hydrogen or the ammonia? And it says here an excess of hydrogen, whereas up here it's got the how many grams. So that's going to be our find, is the ammonia. So I'll write our given down below. Now, I don't know if you remember how to do this scientific notation here, but essentially all we're going to need to do is 10 to the power of 3 is 1,000, so I'll just take my decimal and multiply it by 1,000. And I can do that by moving the decimal place to the right 3 times. And I get 5,912 grams of N2. Next, I need to set up a conversion factor. That part's easy. 1 mole goes on top, like we always do in this step, because grams are going to go on the bottom. So I need to figure out what's the molar mass of nitrogen. If I go and make a little chart here, there are 2 nitrogens, and each one weighs 14 for a total of 28. So this 28 is going to go down here, grams of nitrogen, and we'll make this moles of nitrogen. That step's done, so we'll set up another conversion factor. On the bottom, we're going to put moles of nitrogen, because that way it's going to cancel out what goes on top in the previous step. So if I look up here, I can see that there's no coefficient in front of the nitrogen. So that means this number is going to be 1. Up above is going to be moles of my find. So I have my find of ammonium, NH3. If I look up next to that one, there's a 2 in the coefficient. So there's going to be a 2 right there. Nearly there, but we need one more conversion factor, because now we're in moles of ammonia And we put that down below so that we can cancel out that unit. And we also have grams of ammonia. Now, for this one, we're going to need to figure out the molar mass. So let's set it up down here. I have 1 nitrogen, and I have 3 hydrogens. That adds up to 17. Pretty simple. So that 17 is going to go right here. Now all we need to do is solve. So I'll start solving by making sure my units are going to end up right. So I can cancel out these guys, and I can cancel out these guys, and I can cancel out these guys. So my units are going to wind up being grams of NH3, exactly what we were looking for, right? And now all I need to do is take 5,912 times 1 times 2 times 17, and then I divide it by 28, and divide it by 1, and divide it by 1. And if I do that, we'll find that my answer is 7,178.9 after rounding. All right, thank you, and I hope this was helpful for you.